Morning.
Good morning.
I'm Gharib. What's your name?
Ahmed.
Okay, nice to meet you.
Thank you so much.
Do you work or you are a student, Mr. Ahmed?
Well, I'm not a student anymore. I have graduated recently, so I'm planning to extend my education hopefully in the future.
Where do you come from?
Well, I'm from Sulaimani. I'm from Sulaimani, which is located north of Iraq. I have lived there all of my life.
Okay, in the first part of the IELTS speaking test, I'm going to ask you some questions about swimming, okay?
Okay.
Did you learn to swim when you were a child?
Well, hopefully when I was a child, I learned swimming with my friends. Like they just all about, like it's a kind of good skill to know in your life. So like I'm so glad about that I learned when I was a child.
How often do you go swimming now?
Well, nowadays I don't have much time to because you know I have a busy day. Like I don't have plans to put it in my schedule, but I wish I could have in future hopefully.
Okay. What places are there for swimming where you live?
Well, there's a lot of private pools, and you know outdoors is also possible, but I prefer indoors.
Do you think it will be more enjoyable to go swimming outdoors or indoor pools?
Well, definitely outdoors pools, like outdoors, it's kind of more fun, you know, but in different weather conditions, it's not possible to do it every time, but I think it's kind of risky, but I'll go for the indoor pools.
Thank you. That's the end of the part one. Part two, I'm going to give you a task card and I want you to describe a famous business person that you know about. You will have to talk about the topic for 1 to 2 minutes and you have 1 minute to think about what we are going to say. You can make some notes to help you if you wish. Okay? Here is a pen and paper to make your notes. Okay, 1 minute is up. Can you start speaking, please?
Okay, well, I'm gonna talk about, he's so famous now, like if I mention his name, everyone's gonna know about him. It's Elon Musk, you know, he was one of the richest, top of the list of richest person on the earth. So I just read an article about him recently, it was like a week ago, I guess. He's like when he was a child, he used to hang out with his family a lot. They have traveled a lot and tried to read different books about science, you know. So nowadays he just got many large companies that have a lot of benefit for our human history. Like for example, Tesla, it's kind of electricity cars, you know, it's kind of good for our environment and going to be like, you know, in 20 more years in the future, it's going to be like every car is going to be electricity, you know. And he also have SpaceX, which is an astronaut company which can, like, it was impossible before, but you know it's possible nowadays to peoples to travel to the space, you know, and he's making everything's possible. So, and he just got a social media company which is Twitter, like he just bought the.
Okay, you have been talking for more than 2 minutes. Can I have my pen and paper back? Thank you. Thank you. We've been talking about describing a famous people that you know. Now I'm going to ask you some questions related to the same topic, okay?
Okay.
Let's talk about famous people today. What kinds of people are most famous in your country today?
Obviously, I'm going to talk about Farouk, which has got 3 companies. Farouk for instruction trades, with he's going about having a lot of construction buildings, and he also have the most famous company that's for communication, which is SSL. You know, we are using it in our daily basis a lot.
Why there are so many stories about famous people in these days?
Well, you know, when it becomes to talking about a famous person, it's grab attention to a lot of people's. Like when you talk about someone famous, they just grab their attention and just they will just listen to you so carefully. So I think that many of the reasons that everyone want to be successful in their life, so that's why they focusing on the successful person and famous persons.
Do you agree or disagree that many young people today want to be famous?
Well, you know, everyone have to try different things in their life, and one of them is being famous. So they just pretend to be like being famous is so easy. Like you walk outside and people's like being saying, "Oh, look, that's the famous person." But actually, for me, with my personal perspective, I think that the disadvantage is taking over the advantage. You know, when you are famous, you just can't be comfortable with when you are going out. And
let's talk about the advantages of being famous. Do you think it's easy to earn a lot of money in these days?
Well, for being famous, it's a lot easier. According to that fact, with my personal view, like I think being famous it's easier to make money. Like if you go for making a commercial, like people's want to you got a lot of views and people's will talk about in their daily life with their friends.
In what ways could famous people use their influence to do good things in the world?
Well, there's a lot of different things, and it's so dependable on them to how they use being famous. Like for example, you know, just a small signature can make many difference on the book. Like there's a lot of books with a signature is kind of overpriced, you know, they just prefer them to have a sign of that famous guy on it.
Okay, that's the end of the test. Thank you.